Hello, students. Hope you all have understood the process of digestion in the human body, in which different parts or different organs and glands of our body are included, which are buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, rectum, and anus. So these are the different parts or organs and the glands which are included in the process of digestion in human body. So next we'll discuss the next topic we'll discuss about how digestion is done in grass eating animals. How is digestion done there? So we have seen that the cows, buffaloes or other grass eating or herbivore animals, they keep on chewing continuously. Why they do so even when they are not eating something? What happens in them is, when they take the food inside their mouth, they don't chew the food, they directly swallow the food, and it is stored in a part of a stomach which is called as rumen. It is called as rumen. I'll show you it here in the picture. See, this is their stomach, and there's a part in the stomach called rumen, in which the food that they eat or the grass that they eat is, they swallow it. They don't chew it at that time. They take the food and swallow it. And that swallowed food is stored in this part of the stomach, which is called as the rumen. Okay. Now, here the food gets partially digested. So in the human, the food is not fully digested, it is somewhat partially digested, and that partially digested food is called as cud. It is called as cud. Okay, that partially digested food that is digested in the rumen, which is a part of the stomach in the grass eating animals. Then what happens? This cud, this partially digested food, returns to their mouth in small quantity. Okay, that partially digested food cud returns to their mouth in small quantity, in small lumps, and then the animal chews it. So that is why whenever we see any grass eating animal or any herbivore animal, it is continuously chewing, because the small part of the undigested or the partially digested food is coming to its mouth, which it keeps on chewing. This process is called rumination. The process of taking the partially digested food into the mouth and then chewing it continuously. That is called as rumination, and the animals which does such type of digestion or such type of taking the partially digested food from their uh, from the rumen and then chewing it in their mouth, that such type of animals are called ruminants. Now, the food that they eat are mostly grass or something like that, or the leaves, right? So the grass is rich in cellulose. So the grass eating animals mainly eat grass. So the grass is rich in what? It is rich in cellulose. As the food that we eat are rich in carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Similarly, the grass is rich in cellulose, and grass is one type of carbohydrates. The cellulose that is present in the grass is one type of carbohydrate. And many animals, and including humans. So, other than this grass eating animals, there are so many animals, right? That animals and ourselves, we humans, cannot digest cellulose. Our body cannot digest cellulose. Why? That we'll see further. Why we cannot digest cellulose. Now, these animals, the ruminants, the grass eating animals, they have a large sac like a bag like structure between their small intestine and large intestine. Okay, so there is a bag like structure in this grass eating animals between the small intestine and large intestine. So, in that sac like structure, a bacteria is grown, a bacteria is present, which helps to digest the cellulose. That bacteria is not present in other animals or in humans. They are only present in ruminants or the animals which eat grass. So that is why cellulose can be digested only by the grass eating animals, not by other animals or by humans. Okay. So we discussed the digestion process in the humans. We also discussed the digestion process in the grass eating animals. Similarly, there are many small organisms which do not have a mouth and also a digestive system. Okay, so they don't have mouth also and they don't have a digestive system. Then how do they take in the food and digest the food that they eat? So that is the next topic that we'll go through. That is feeding and digestion in amoeba. The next topic is feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoeba is a microscopic single-celled organism. In the earlier class, we had studied about the cell. Cell was having a nucleus in center. It was having a cell membrane. Yes, a single cell. So amoeba is a microscopic single-celled organism. Means amoeba can only be seen through the microscope. The instrument that is called microscope, which helps to see very small animals which cannot be very small organisms which cannot be seen with our eyes. So they are called microscopic. They are called microscopic because they cannot be seen by our eyes. Organisms found in the pond water, in the stagnant water which is not flowing. So amoeba has a cell membrane. Cell membrane was what? Cell membrane was the outer lining of the cell. Okay, has a cell membrane, a rounded, dense nucleus. We also had seen a nucleus, a spherical structure that is present in the center of the cell, and it also has many bubble-like vacuoles. Okay, in its cytoplasm. We had studied that outside the nucleus, around the nucleus is surrounded by cytoplasm, a jelly-like liquid. So in that jelly-like liquid, there are vacuoles. So vacuoles look like this. See this, these are all called vacuoles. Okay, so these vacuoles are also present in amoeba. Now we'll see the function of each and every part. Okay, so amoeba constantly changes its shape and position. Yes, amoeba does not have a fixed shape, it keeps on changing the shape and also position. It moves. Now it pushes out one or more finger-like projections called pseudopodia. What is called pseudopodia? As we have legs and hands to move, similarly it is having that this finger-like projections. You can see this finger-like projections. Yes, these finger-like projections, they are called as pseudopodia or false feet for the movement and capturing the food. So they don't have mouth. They capture the food with the help of this pseudopodia, this finger-like projections. So how do they capture? What do they do when the food particle is near? It surrounds. Its both finger-like projections surround this food particle, and the food particle goes inside the amoeba, the organism. Yes, so the amoeba feeds on some microscopic organisms. So it also feeds on organisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes. That is why they are called as microscopic organisms. When it senses food, when it knows that there is some microscopic food or organism near it, what it will do, as I said, it will surround that food with its pseudopodia or false feed, that is the finger like projection, and take it inside its body. So and what happens that food that finger like projections called pseudopodia around the food particle and engulf it. Engulf means to take inside its body. Then the food gets becomes trapped in a food vacuole. That food or that small microscopic organism which it engulfed, which it took into its body, it is being stored in the food vacuole. It is being stored in the food vacuole. Now, as in our body in different parts secrete digestive juices to digest the food that we eat. Similarly, digestive juices are also secreted by the food vacuole. Okay, they act on the food and break it down into simpler substances. So as it was, what was the function of digestive juices in our body, that same function is being done here also. It breaks down the food that the organism is eating into simpler substances. Now, gradually, the digested food is absorbed. So, slowly, the food is getting absorbed by the microorganism, that is the amoeba. The absorbed substance or the absorbed food is used for what? It is used for growth. Same thing as in our body, for growth, maintenance, and for multiplication. Multiplication means to give birth to new babies, new organisms like them, like new amoebas. They are used for that. Then the undigested residue, as we have in our body, the undigested food is being thrown out of the body through the anus in our body. Similarly, the undigested residue of the food is expelled outside by the vacuole. See, they have shown in here in this. See, they are taking, the amoeba is taking in the food particle, and it is, yes, and after the process of digestion, it is throwing out the undigested food through the vacuole, the digested waste. Okay, this process is same, only somewhat difference is there between us, the animals that eat grass, and also between the microorganisms such as amoeba. So the basic process of digestion of food and release of energy is the same, as I said, is same in all animals. And in the later chapter, we'll also study how the food is transported, the absorbed food by the small intestine is transported to each and every part of the body. So hope you all have understood the chapter clearly. Yeah. So yeah, we have learned that animal nutrition is very important for different purposes. Then what are the parts which are involved in the process of digestion and what each and every part do. Then the modes of feeding vary in different. Different organisms take different types of food. Then digestion is a complex process which involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Okay. Then the digestion of carbohydrates is done where the other different parts of the food are being broken down into what all different parts by the different digestive juices. Then the absorbed substances are transported to to each and every part of your body. And from the undigested food, the large intestine absorbs the water and salt. Then the undigested and unabsorbed substances are thrown out by our body through anus. Yes, similarly, we studied for graze, grazing animals, that is, animals which eat grass, and also for amoeba. Okay, so hope you all have understood the chapter very clearly.